Welcome to the good, the bad, and the sequel Q&A. My name's Doug. So the next sequel that we're going to be covering is one of my favorite in the franchise, and it's odd because it's the last installment in the franchise. There's been years and years of talks to make it a fifth one, but we're stopping at 4, and not a bad idea to do so. Lethal Weapon 4, Uncle Benny. The guys are really too old for this shit. In this one, Chris Rock, your babies have my baby, and whoa, baby. And for it, I talked with a stunt woman and an amazing stunt double, Lisa Hoyle, who we talk about a lot of her credits. She has a ton. I'll put her IMDb in the episode notes so you can see some of the stuff she worked on. Even a cool story about a commercial she did that everyone knows when you see it. So I'll put that on her dedicated link on our website. Her page would be at sequelsonly.com/Lisa Hoyle. I'll put the link in the episode notes, but you'll be able to find it there. But man, some really cool stories from her career, how she started doing, gymnastics, and that translated into the local youth circus that was around. And it really changed the course of her life. She chose the circus over gymnastics. And then she goes on to double for a young Angelina Jolie, Goldie Hawn, Drew Barrymore, Christina Applegate, you name it. An amazing story with Keira Knightley and her when Lisa was working on Pirates. So cool. Yeah, Lisa was such a blast. She taught me a lot of things about what goes into stunts, and even preparing she did a 90-foot high fall for Charlie's Angels. She really goes into the preparation for that and the mindset leading into it, because it's something you got to work towards. It's not something they're going to say, hey, tomorrow you're going to do this. There's a lot that goes into it. And one of my favorite stories ever, her daughter, who's a stunt in stunts now too, she visited mom on set while she was in makeup. It was a Rick Baker movie. That's my only hint, but oof, really cool story. So before I start the interview, please like, rate, subscribe, follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. If you go on TikTok, at Sequels Only there, it'd be really awesome. Help us out. And just tell a friend. This is a lot of fun. And who's a lot of fun? Lisa Hoyle. Love talking to her. Stunt woman, stunt double, and ultimate badass. Enjoy. Cool. Lisa, thanks so much for doing this. What I love to do with these is finding out, obviously, working in Hollywood's a pretty wild industry. It's not the simplest things to do. So I always love to find out that journey, like to why you forged into this direction. But before that, the early days, like growing up, did you grow up in California?
Did. Yes.
So you were there. So you were in the thick of it, like from a young age, or how did you even think about this?
So I grew up in Redlands, California. Redlands is, if you know the geography, it's like halfway between LA and Palm Springs. So I was just far enough away from Hollywood that it was Hollywood. So I was about an hour east. So I didn't grow up in the thick of it. I was a competitive gymnast when I was young. And then, so in Redlands, California, they have a community youth circus. It's the oldest youth circus in the world.
Wow.
And it's very supported by all the locals, and the banners were up across the main boulevard. And I'm like, Mom, I want to go see the circus. So we went to the circus. And after seeing it, I'm like, I want to be in the circus. And she said, well, it's either gymnastics or circus. And I'll never forget, because I had just made the team, which was like huge, but I'm like, no, I want to do circus. So I did circus. And then I'll just skip ahead. After high school, I went to train the kids in the circus. And while I was there training, and let me back up. Because circuit, like what town has a circus? So there was a retired clown from Ringling Brothers, and he moved from Florida to Redlands, and he became the director of the YMCA.
Nice. We have a Y by us. Okay.
Okay. So see, anyone can do this. His name was Roy Coble, and Roy Coble created the circus. It's in the Roy Coble gym. It's still there.
That's awesome. That's still going on? Every year they do the circus? A kids circus?
It's still going on. But when I went back to train the kids in the circus, my old hand balancing trainer, that's a thing, hand balancing. He came in and he found me and he said, "Listen, my wife and I, we are investing in all of this equipment. We would love for you to start training and performing with us." So I then became a professional flying trapeze artist.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
really lots of aerial things, tissue, cradle, Spanish web.
So
These are
no
things that
fear. You
these
never
are
had
all
a fear of
this
heights
is all
as
circus jargon.
yeah, as a kid, did you ever have a fear of heights or that never you just didn't have that in your brain?
I would say I have a respect for heights,
Okay, yeah, that's
but
true.
not a
You have to respect what you're
fear.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
in
true.
fact, that's a perfect segue. Thank you, because we also had an acrobatic high dive act. So, but instead of landing in a big pool of water, we landed in an airbag. So we had a 45, a 60-foot, and an 80-foot platform. And so I trained 3 days a week, like 6 hours a day, and then we did like county fairs and corporate parties. And I was in college at the time. I kept switching my major, not really knowing what direction I was headed. And it was a husband wife team that owned this troupe. And Karen was her name. She was a retired stunt woman. And like she doubled Jane Fonda and, that era. And she told me, there are a lot of girls that do 25-foot high falls. She's like 50 feet, not too many. She's like 75 feet. There's really not anyone. I was like, hello, I could do that. So I think that's when I had my aha moment. Like, that's what I'm going to do. So I've been doing this for 35 years ever since
Wow.
then.
And did she put you in contact? What was the next step once you knew like, "Oh, this is something that I could do?" Did she help you out or did you put some
Not,
feelers out there?
I'm going to say maybe she did a little, but I think she wanted to keep me as a performer.
I'm sure, right? Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I had to just forage my way. I didn't know anyone. In the stunt business, unlike actors, we don't have agents. So it's all who you know, it's your reputation. It's who do I want to hire that I might have to hang out with for 16 hours?
Yeah, right?
It is a male dominated field, and I grew up with an older and a younger brother. I think that helped me along with my physical skills, but it's called hustling. You have to hustle. And that means, when I first started, that was like I had my Thomas guide in my passenger seat and I'm going from set to set and shaking hands with the coordinator and showing him my portfolio and here's what I can do, here's what I have to offer. And it's just one step at a time.
Yeah, you gotta knock on as many doors because even a no might be a yes down the road. It's like people that
Right.
audition actors. It's like, oh, you didn't nail it this time, but next time you go in, if that casting director's there, maybe they'll
Right.
remember you from the time before. So do you
Correct.
remember the first one that kind of maybe you got? Because credits wise, again, IMDb is not accurate for actors, and I'm sure it's not accurate for stunt people, just like special effects. Like everything's not 100%, but to have your first credit listed, it's either Walker, Texas Ranger or Cyborg 2. So I don't know
you
which one you
looked.
worked on
I'm
first.
impressed. It was actually Cyborg 2.
Okay. So
It
that's
was
cool.
Cyborg
That's a
2.
smaller studio. I'm trying to think of who made that.
Oh, I don't even
Not a
know.
Roger Corman, but one of the Roger Corman-like ones, I would think. But
I think
so
so. And
that's pretty cool.
do you know who I doubled?
I just cheated, but that's wild. Was that our first movie?
Angelina Jolie. Maybe. I know that she was 17 years old because her mom was there. Nobody knew who she
My
was.
God.
That was kind of
Look at this.
cool.
That looks the poster looks wild. Jack Palance has a half
Jack
like
Palance. Yeah.
robotic
Yeah.
face. And then you got Elias Kodas. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They needed me because she did a front flip off a staircase. So that's what I did.
So they bring you in and they say like, okay, this is what the script says. And then you meet with the stunt coordinator. It's like, this is what you want this is what we want you to do. And do you practice this on the actual set before cameras roll? How does that typically work?
Every day is different.
It's
Sometimes you
all
have
different. Yeah.
time. Sometimes you have time to rehearse. Sometimes you don't. It's nice when you do.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
and then there's times when you rehearse and you're like, roll those cameras because I'm gonna nail this on the rehearsal.
Yeah, nice. But that's cool, especially Angelina Jolie early on. And then the next one that's on there, we're not going to go through all the credits, but especially early on, those
Yeah,
like
we'd
the
be here all
wins.
day.
I know you have a ton, but like another really cool movie, Haunted. That was one of your earlier credits too, with Kate Beckinsale.
You know more than me. You know what? I have to admit, I have not watched most movies that I've worked on.
Yeah, I
Did
can
you say
see that. I
Did
took
you
this
say haunted?
haunted.
Okay,
It's kind of in a castle. It's like an old ghost story.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Kate
know more than I
Beckinsale's the
do.
star in it. Yeah, I just
I
have
don't
a
even
cheat sheet.
that was obviously so long ago. I don't even I know that I haven't doubled Kate. I think she's taller
Yeah.
than I am. So I don't even remember what I did.
No, it's okay. Like again, like you said, sometimes I've talked to stunt people or special effects, and they're like, "Oh, my studio worked on that, but I got a credit for it." So I really didn't even go on that set or do anything,
That's
but
good.
my name's on it. So I can see that. But that's
Interesting.
cool. You had that early win, Cyborg 2. So
Mm,
do you remember early on, like maybe because I would say the first big film you were on, just looking at like budget wise, I would think Lethal Weapon 4 was kind of like an early like,
yeah.
whoa, this is kind of like the big leagues.
Okay,
Like,
I kind of have a cool story about this one.
okay.
So I went to hustle the stunt coordinator. I told you what hustling is.
Yeah.
And while I was there, like got to talking to other people and I was like, "Oh, I need to go put money in my meter." And I went and I was like, "Ugh, I got a ticket."
Oh no.
And then I went back and it was the stunt coordinator, rest easy, my friend Conrad Palmisano. I went to give him my picture and resume and I mentioned that I had gotten a parking ticket. Well, he hired me and it was one day of work. It was like this running sequence. I think I got pushed out of the way. Now, with stunts, when you do a stunt, you are obviously we have our contract. That's our payment. It's same as it's a Screen Actors Guild contract. And then depending on the stunt you do, you get a stunt adjustment. There's no rule books. It's kind of it's based on skill and risk. And usually at the end of the day, the coordinator will be like, and I'm going to throw an extra X amount,
Oh, I didn't
on
know
there.
that.
Yes. Well, this day working for Conrad, because I had told him the day before that I got a parking ticket, he gave me my stunt adjustment and then he threw another $80 on top of it for my parking ticket. What a sweetheart.
That is very sweet.
Yes.
I talked to this guy, Ari Mihailoff. He played
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He played Leatherface in the third movie, a bunch of other credits, but he was the tow truck driver and licensed to drive. And
Mm-hmm.
he was talking to somebody on set and didn't even like want the director or whoever it was to hear. And he was like, "Oh man, I only need X something to get my health insurance." And they called, "Hey, we're going to call it for the day. We're going to redo this scene again tomorrow so you can get his health insurance." I'm like, that's so cool. Like this guy that has a couple of lines, that's all it is. He picks up Corey Haim's car, starts to drive away, and like, yeah, and I love hearing stories about that. Especially
Yeah,
it's such a hard life's
there's
hard, right?
humanity in this
Yeah,
dog eat
right?
dog world. Yeah, I love it.
So to ask again about because I never knew about like the risk and the on top of like doing a stunt. So do you know that going in, like you do a stunt, it's gonna be X amount of dollars, but because it's so risky, it could be this?
I would say no. My answer
No.
to me no. The only time would be if it's like a big stunt, and that has happened to me where like, hey, I need you to do this 93-foot high fall. This is going to be your stunt adjustment. I'm like, really? And the stunt coordinator is like, I wouldn't do it for my life.
Like, yeah.
So that's the only time that it would be maybe maybe even negotiated, like, you know what? But that rarely happens. Rare.
Yeah. Like
Maybe
you
like
said,
a
for
car
that,
turnover.
for like the Lethal Weapon 4, I'm sure you've had other ones like this too. Like when you're not, oh, I'm sure even when you're doubling, that happens. But like whenever you watch a movie and you see like even like a driving scene and you see those people that are running right in front of the car, like at the last second and getting out of the way. So is
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of the stuff that you were doing early on?
Yeah.
Like that? Oh my God.
I mean, everything, but yeah, definitely. Yeah. I
That's
mean, I would say so. What you have just described, that is called an ND stunt person. ND stands for nondescript.
okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
So,
Cause you don't have to look like
um,
anyone. It's you're just man or woman on street.
right. So I would say 90% of my work I'm doubling because I'm like average size, average look. Like you can, like I can be anyone. Put a wig on me, put makeup. Like I've doubled Nev Campbell on Scream
Yeah.
3. I looked just like her, but it's because
Goldie, you and
here,
Goldie, that was
because
cool. Like you guys were sisters in that photo. That's
oh my
special.
goodness, yeah, doubling Goldie Hawn. She was so lovely. I remember. Well, first of all, we were shooting in Hawaii. I'm like, okay, what looks better? Like doubling Goldie in Hawaii for a few months. This is amazing. But I remember walking up to her, meeting her, and I was like, Goldie, I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm so honored to be doubling you. And she was like, it's just me. We're just coming to work. Like she's just so real and authentic and loved her. Yes.
They're two of the greatest people. Like you think about couple wise, like you had two people and then they spawn like these amazing kids that are
Right?
just as great, right? It's pretty
See,
wild.
I would love to double her daughter. How
Oh,
cool would
that'd be
that
cool.
be?
That'd be really awesome.
I know.
I talked to a stunt guy last week that doubled Damon Wayne Sr. and Jr.
That's cool.
But no, that's
Mhm.
awesome. So that's so cool. So how does the doubling come to be? Is it something that you're I know you mentioned the stunt person mentioned that to you, right? The lady that was that wanted to keep you and didn't probably want you to leave. Did she do any doubling or was she just more doing stunts?
I know she doubled Jane Fonda.
Oh, that's what you mentioned. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she doubled others as well. I just
But is
don't
that like
remember
on
who.
your radar? Like when you're on a set early on, again, it's like you're working. I'm sure it's like, this is so exciting, taking it all in. But like, is that something that you're going out for? Or is that all the stunt
So
people show up? They're like,
you're
you're
always
always
on
going
the
out for
I'm
that.
always on the radar for like, oh, how tall is she? I could double her. And then you're looking at like, you know, production stuff like, all right, what's she up to? What is she doing? Who's coordinating? I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's all about height
That's
and
the
weight.
hustling.
Yes, that's the hustling.
Yeah.
You got it. So yeah, it's all about height and weight for me.
Yeah, because even in Charlie's Angels, you doubled Cameron and Drew Barrymore, right?
I did. So I'm a great double for Drew. I'm not a great double for Cameron because she's taller than I am.
She's very
However,
tall, yeah.
they needed 3 doubles to do a 93-foot high fall. We run.
That was the 93 that you referenced.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on the top of a 10-story building, and there were pretty much 3 of us that could do it, and it was like, all right, who's gonna double who? Who's the closest to who? That was a very euphoric experience, and I wish it was 100, but it was only 93. But I'll never forget, we had a safety meeting, and then we are getting in the service elevator to go up 10 stories. And I'm like, I am prepared mentally, physically, like my head is in the game. And one thing, when you pull up on set and there's an ambulance, it's a little unsettling. You're like, okay, this is going to be, I'm in the hot seat today. That's what we say. Anyway, so in the service elevator, like heads in the game, getting ready to go up, the door's about to close. and the medic runs in and asks me my blood type. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're asking me right now. Like, do you know what your blood type is?
No, I don't. I don't
I
know
was I luckily I did know because I still
it.
had that
Good.
card in my wallet from when I was in high school and donated blood. I'm like, "Hey, positive, now get the F out."
Yeah, you're already, like, thinking about it a little bit, or like you said, you're in the zone, and then you think
Well,
about that, but
yeah,
93 feet.
because for a high fall, for a stunt like that, and I had, I'm gonna say a month to mentally and physically prepare. So I did go practice, but the highest I could find to practice from was 75 feet. And so when I was practicing, I started low and I would jump out and I would measure where my booty landed right in the center. So I knew what my trajectory was going to be as I made my incline, right?
Yeah.
So I knew on the day at 93 feet, I'm like, the airbag has to be 22 feet away from the wall. And sure enough, I landed right in the center. But what I was going to tell you, because it was great that I had so much time to prepare, but it was also the last thing I thought about when I went to sleep. First thing I thought about when I woke up. My palms would get sweaty when I would like look up at a building to try and measure, like, okay, how tall is that? So, yeah,
And what would you obviously, like, you practiced, leading up to that. Were there any other high-risk stunts, or was that the first one that you would say you did, like, in the business that you were like, "Whoa."
I would say that's my highest high fall.
Yeah.
But like I've been set on fire head to toe. I've been the riskiest one I've ever done is being hit by a car as a pedestrian and doing a whole up and over.
Oh my god.
And then I would say the one stunt that it's actually one of like my favorite things to do because is a stair fall, right? Like I just
Falling
think of it.
downstairs?
Yeah, because like if keep your wings in, and I just think of it like a hill with cutouts. Just roll down the hill. Like momentum is your friend, right? So I get the call to to do a stair fall, and I'm like, no problem. So I get there, and this is for I want to say it's called Frank McCluskey.
I saw that on there. The guy Dave Sheridan. I looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, easy stair fall. So I'm there. I'm on set. I've gone through the works. That means I've gone through hair and makeup. I'm camera ready. Gone through the works. So and I'm wearing a mini skirt and like a tank top and heels. And I'm with the stunt coordinator and the director. We're at the top of the stairs, and the director says, "Okay, I, I want her to be like a redwood tree and just face first." And I was like, "Really? Okay." I was like, can I at least like raise my arms up as I fall so that I'm covering more surface area? Like I'm just trying to like grasp for anything. And I got the green light on that. And then he wanted my ankle cabled down so that when I fell, I didn't slide. We like measured so that my head would fall in between the stairs, not like smash my face. Then as part of the script, she does that. She falls, then she stands up, and whoever's at the top of the stairs, she's like, "Sometimes in life, you fall off the horse, you just have to get back on." And she does it again. So insanity. Had to do it twice. And now, there's another thing with stunts that people don't think about. When we do stunts, like, no, we are not bionic. Yes, well, we don't, I don't know. Some people don't feel as much pain, but we still are human. But
Yeah.
we put pads on, elbow pads, knee pads, shin guards, back pads. Well, you think about it when you're watching movies, most guys are like cops. They're in jackets, pants. Girls are scantily clad. So what pads can I wear?
Yeah, nothing to hide.
So you know what I did? I wrapped a bubble wrap around my torso. That's all I had.
My god.
I think it saved me from cracking my ribs. I think I fractured my nose. I don't know.
My gosh.
But I
And you have
did
to be
it.
such an advocate for yourself, right? Because I'm sure you were on
And
sets early
and
on
one
when
more thing,
yeah.
that was the only time when you say, like, "What's the hardest stunt you did? That's the only time that I was like, I wanted to be like, "Where's my shot of tequila right before rolling?"
Yeah.
Because this is ret this is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm sure that there's a lot of times people tell you like early on. I'm sure when people are like wet behind the ears, it's like, "Hey, can you do a stunt this way?" And it's like, I don't think this is. But at least like, because I'm sure people don't realize what goes into it. Like a director sometimes might not have that experience to be like, "Here's what I want you to do." It's like, well, that's not possible.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay,
I worked on a show called Worst Case Scenario. I
I've
don't know.
heard of that. Yeah,
Do you remember that? I think
yeah,
it was a book, and then they turned it into, like, a series, and I was, like, a part-time host and did the stunts. So this
cool.
worst case scenario was you're in a theater, like a traditional theater with, like, balcony seating, watching a play, and there's a fire, and everyone is trying to rush out. Well, I, 'cause I'm a genius, jump to the curtain and slide down the curtain because it's clogged at the other end, right? So I'm wet behind the ears. I'm like, I do as I'm told. And I told you I was an aerialist, so I know what my body does. I know what to do in the air, but I do what I'm told. And he says, as I'm standing up on the balcony, he's like, "Well, jump like down toward, jump down, and then you won't have as far to slide down." And in my head, I'm like, this isn't going to work. Sure enough, like I jumped angled down and like totally lost my grip and fell to the deck. I was fine, but I was like, okay, now I know I need to speak up for myself. Like, I know that's
Yeah,
not going to physically work.
yeah. My god.
Yeah.
So it is cool, like, obviously doing stunts, being a stunt double, and like you said, you look just like Nev Campbell when you put that wig on. But how about for some of the roles that you wore makeup? Like, were
Mm,
you in full makeup for like How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Planet of the Apes?
I sure was.
That's sick,
In
and it's cool
fact,
you had Rick Baker for both of them.
oh, that was so cool. Yeah. Working with Rick Baker and his people, going to his studio. Yeah. I have been living the dream. Yes. I remember working on Grinch. My daughter, who her name is Sierra Hoyle, she is a stunt woman as well.
Oh,
She's 32 years
nice.
old. I know, it's amazing. But
That's
when I
rad.
worked on the Grinch, I'm going to say she was maybe 4. And I had her babysitter brought her to Universal. And at the time, I was completely as a who. I was doubling Molly Shannon. And when I saw her, I like put my arms out and she would not come near me. Like, who are you? Why are you pretending to be my mother? Yeah, that was pretty funny. I've been in a lot of makeup. Yeah, the Planet of the Apes, that was wild. They are so good at what they do.
Yeah.
But so I used to work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer a lot. I doubled the characters Glory and Darla, and then I doubled Darla on Angel. But one episode they had me play. Show you, show you. I have a picture. Let me get it. They had me
Sweet.
play a character. I was supposed to have been in like come out of a watery grave, and I was sorry. Oh, here it is. I was in the makeup chair for 9 hours. Are you ready? I
Yes.
look I look beautiful.
Oh my god. That is insane.
Is that crazy?
That looks like it would take that long. Oh my god, that looks wild.
Yeah. In fact, I ended up on the cover of the local makeup union magazine. That's
Sweet.
how good it was. It was so good.
That is so awesome. Yeah, sitting in that chair, it's especially like you're doing your stunts too. Like to be in all that, that's gotta
Yeah.
throw off,
Well, and, like, I was in the chair for 9 hours, and I was probably in front of the camera for 90 seconds. Yeah. It's
yeah, that's
crazy what I mean, like I said, I have been living the dream. Just, I'm gonna say my favorite was doubling Keira Knightley on Pirates of the Caribbean.
oh, that probably was really
That
cool.
that was unreal because we shot parts 2 and 3 back to back, and I worked on it for 2 years straight.
Wow.
That never happens, ever, and I don't think that'll ever happen again. So,
Oh, you're talking about people shooting back to back or having one job for
yeah,
that
like
long?
yeah, both.
Yeah.
Well, television series, you're on
Yeah,
there for
but I don't see
but
people doing that anymore because that was the thing for a bunch of, like, very successful I wonder if there's gotta be stories out there of the unsuccessful films that tried to do that. "Oh, yeah, we're gonna shoot 2 and 3 back to back." It's like, I don't know, man. The first one wasn't
yeah,
that good.
yeah, it was
But
amazing. I spent 8 months in the Caribbean, spent 3 months on an island called Dominica. It's in the West Indies between Martinique and Guadeloupe, but what was just spectacular about Dominica is, I'm on a when I'm on the run of a film, I'm on a weekly contract, but if they don't need me on set, I'm on hold, right? So I'm still getting paid, but I'm not needed. I was on hold for 5 weeks straight
my
on an
gosh.
on an island in paradise. It was like, "What is happening right now?" I I was literally, like, pinching myself, like, "You kidding me?" So I am
That's
a very
amazing.
grateful person.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you were just always so busy. That's what's so crazy about yeah, especially looking at even just your IMDb, how as soon as you got into it, you were always working and always working. Like every year, it's a lot of credits. Again, like you said, sometimes it could be a day, right? It's just, hey, they come out and we need you for this one thing. Like you just
Yeah,
mentioned, 1 year there for 2 years. That's wild.
yeah. No, I really appreciate that, and you're right. I was told because before, like I said, some people don't have agents, but we used to have we had 3 answering services, and what an answering service is something that a stunt coordinator could utilize to be like, "Hey." So we had Jonies, Bills, and Teddies. And I was so so I know this is weird. It's so old school, but say I'm coordinating a show, I'd call Jonies and be like, "Hey, I need Bob, John, Sarah, Mike. This is their call time. This is what you need to fax them." That way I'm only making one call, then they make all the other calls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is when we had, like, pagers, but I just remember one of the girls at Jonies, because 'cause they're the ones that get all the work calls, she's like, "You do know that you are the most working stunt woman in Hollywood." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." So, I mean, I rode the wave. I'm not the most workingest stunt woman anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? Now you said your daughter does it too. You guys can Goldie and Kate Hudson do a movie together. You guys could be
Hey,
the doubles. That would
well,
be amazing.
however, she's taller than I am, my daughter.
She's tall.
Yeah, yeah. But I did just book a role playing I'll be playing a I'm not gonna say what it's for, but a Secret Service agent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, which is fun because, like I said, I'm usually doubling. This time it's like, "Oh, I get to be me."
Well, yeah, that's got to be like when you. How do you look at doubling? Is it like a science? If it's somebody that you're working with first time, are you like watching their movements? You are doing
Absolutely.
that. Cool.
Absolutely, like, I've had days, I always read the sides, which is the part of the script that you're gonna be doing, and if they're running, I'll be like, "Hey, can I watch you run? 'Cause I'm your body double, like, I need to act just like you." I might say, "If you have any tips, like, would you fall? Would you do it this way, that way? Please," like, or if you wanna do it, you feel comfortable, if that's something that producers, stunt coordinators, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I'll show you how to do it. So, I mean, there's many things. And then sometimes you build a rapport with like Christina Applegate. She's my girl. I
Yeah.
started doubling her on View from the Top and and then she would request me. That's the ultimate. Like, if you can get an act that's requesting you, that's like, I made it. So I stuck with her till Dead to Me, and she's now battling MS, and
Yeah.
I'm still there for her.
Yeah, no, she's the best.
Yeah,
From Married with
yeah. She's
Children to
my
whatever she did, like,
she is the best. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and especially like you said, you put in your homework, so I'm sure those people see that and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Why we don't have to do any rapport building because I
Yeah.
have Lisa or I have whoever
Or
on the
like
next movie."
I used to double Georgia Fox on CSI,
Okay.
and like she's a little taller than me, but I would put lifts in my shoes, but we're both like lanky and have the exact same like body language. It's funny.
And it makes it good because I'm sure when you watch movies, I'm sure you enjoy movies. I'm sure sometimes you can catch that. Like, that's a double, that's
Yes.
because sometimes it's very prominent. I'm sure like you mentioned before, it was such a male dominant field. It was male dominant to the point that they were having males do stunts for women, and you
Yeah.
could tell so
That went
easy.
away.
Like, yes, in Friday the 13th Part 4, it's a guy in a wig with hairy legs. Like, he didn't even shave, and he had hairy legs, and you're like, wow, how
That
could you
lazy
do that?
ass.
How? How is there not? There's definitely a woman stunt man somewhere, right?
Oh,
There's someone around. But it's just funny the way, like, when you watch movies for the job that you do, I'm sure there's so many things you pick up on. Like, I talked to, and you probably know this too from doing stunts. For the first time, I talked to a costume designer, and I was asking her, like, what's one thing that you can notice before, like, your husband does when you're watching a movie? She goes, I can tell you when a stunt's coming. And I'm like, how? She goes, oh, because we have the backup clothing on. I'm like, there's backup clothing that just is for the stunt? I'm like, I never even thought of
that's
that.
funny because I was gonna be like, oh, I can see their knee pads.
That's true. You know what? I gotta start looking out for that. Hey, their knees just suddenly got wider.
Yeah. Or like if I'm watching a movie and I see a stunt guy that I know, I'm like, oh, a fight's gonna break out. Like, I know something's gonna happen.
Yeah. We talked about obviously like the 93-foot one that was like, are there ever times you're on a set and it's like, all right, Lisa, we need you to do this stunt. And it's something like so simple and you're like, I can't believe the actor wouldn't do that. I get why actors wouldn't do a stunt, even it's as simple as getting shoved onto a bed because if something happens, they break an arm, production stops. Have you ever had one that was like so simple? You're like, wow, this is easy.
Pros, find the right flooring for the job in Lowe's newly redesigned flooring showroom. Shop our expanded assortment of trusted brands and get up to 35% off style selections, Stainmaster, and Stainmaster Pet Protect Special Order Carpet. And while you're here, save $100 on a DeWalt 20-volt max 6-amp-hour 2-pack of batteries. Now just $179. Get more of what you need faster and save more where it counts from the ground up. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 8/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Back to school season can be tough on parents, but choosing a snack you and your kids can both get behind doesn't have to be. Stock up on Welch's Fruit Snacks, made with whole fruit and now made with no artificial dyes. It's a snack kids already love and one you can feel good about giving them. Go back to school with Welch's Fruit Snacks, now made with no artificial dyes.
I mean, I have, and it's like, yes, job security.
Yeah, right.
Like, I've doubled an actress running on a dirt path because she didn't want to get her legs scraped by the bushes. Or another one, she didn't want to run because she was on her period and her boobs were tender.
Okay.
It's a girl
There you go.
thing.
Yeah. And you'd be like, I'll take
hey,
it. Running
whatever.
for a payday? Yeah, why not?
Right? Yeah. I don't
Now,
mind.
do you have any obviously we talked about like the 93 foot, like I just mentioned the easy ones. Do you have one that you look back, or maybe the first one that you saw like on screen that you were like, oh my God, that was me? Do you have any that you were amazed by knowing that like, holy shit, I did that?
I would say, yeah, I did a Mountain Dew commercial. I should have sent this to you because that's not on. I don't think the
It's not
commercials
on
are,
there, but
are
I'll look it
commercials
up
on
when we're
IMDb.
done.
Okay,
And
it's
I'll link
called.
it for the listeners to
It's
check
called.
out.
Thank Heaven for Little Girls. That's the Mountain Dew commercial, and
Okay.
it was my first paid high fall. Oh, I shouldn't say paid, but it was my first high fall on that wasn't a live show. And I was being doubled by a base jumper. So it looks like I'm the one doing the whole thing. You'll see it. It's really cool. That was the first time that I was like, whoa, because I wasn't doubling. I was playing myself. They dyed my hair brown and cut it. In the commercial, you'll
Sweet.
see I'm holding a.
Wait, you don't have short hair in the commercial. You're the one that's on the like flying in the air, like holding on to something?
I'm
Is that with the
holding a
helicopter
bird.
flying?
No, I'm before that.
I see you. I see the bird. Yeah, yeah. You
I
release
let
the
the
bird?
bird go and I jump.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't even look like you. I guess maybe just the brown hair.
Well, yeah, and that was 30 years ago.
I know that.
But yeah, they
that's
dyed my
cool.
hair. So yeah, I think that was the first time that I was like, whoa. That's
Yeah, and
cool.
commercials are so big that not everybody sees a movie. Everybody
Right.
saw commercials. That's why like the money was so good way back in the day, because it was like limited amount of channels. Now,
Mhm.
like again, still getting any work is good, but it's like it could be on a streaming platform that people don't watch as much. Back in the day, you're on those 4 or 5 channels in the 80s. People are going
Yeah.
to see your face and you're going to get some other gig from that.
Okay, I've done a lot of commercials, but there's another one that stands out. You might hear my cat meowing. He agrees. It's a Powerade commercial.
Okay.
I think it's called The Runner, but so it's from the POV of a helicopter that's giving a traffic report. And he's like, yeah, the drawbridge is stuck open because of a traffic backup. And so you see, this is in Milwaukee where we shot.
I see it. Is that you running?
Yeah, you can watch. I'll let you watch it. Yeah. So he's like, there's a lady. She's running. And I run up the bridge and I jump the draw.
Oh my God. Wait, you really jumped that?
Well, I was attached to cables.
Wow, that's pretty sick.
Oh
My God. And I love it. Do not attempt. No, I'm not gonna. I'll let Lisa do all of that. But that's so cool. So you mentioned like calling like those, I know it wasn't Tom, Dick, and Harry, but the 3 names, the stunt numbers you can call and be like, hey, I need these 4 people. So did you like, did you like coordinating? Like being the person that set everything up and do all of that?
I have coordinated a handful of things. I've recently coordinated a feature called Midnight. It hasn't dropped yet. It's with Rosario Dawson, Mila Jovovich, and Alexandra Shipp.
Okay.
I can't wait for it to come out. It went so good. And I do know that I'm going to need to pivot and I can coordinate. I've been doing this 35 years. I know what to do. If I don't, I know who can do it.
Yeah.
I love performing. So I prefer to perform, but I'm really good at coordinating too. And I really enjoy it. I just love being on set, period.
Yeah.
So
It's got to be such a rush just because movies are magic, really. Like as much what goes in, you see what's in front of the lens. There's so much going on. There's so much behind the lens that's why it's so cool talking to people that have all these different jobs, because it is wild what goes into something and what sometimes goes into something that nobody ever sees. Like I'm sure there's stunts that you've done that you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this movie and see this scene. And you're watching, you're like, oh, what happened to that stunt that I did, right?
like the highest high fall I ever did?
Oh,
So that was for Charlie's Angels. So they had the three of us each do the high falls separately, and then they did a huge explosion when we were all done, and then they were going to marry it all together. And so I remember going to the cast and crew screening, and I'm sitting there, and it's at the beginning of the film. It's like these vignettes, and here comes Cameron Diaz, and she's running, and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm wearing. And then she jumps, and it just freezes. And I was like, so I don't know if the whole like marrying it all together didn't work. Whatever. It's up here. It's up
yeah,
here.
I did it.
I did
My
it.
gosh.
And there is a still photo on YouTube of it. So there is
Cool.
proof. I do have proof.
It is crazy how much like hair and makeup can make somebody look the same. Looking at your IMDb, like the photo of you and Christina Applegate next to each other on Anchorman, that's pretty wild. Like how good they can do that. And you got to think when they're doing that, when you're doing your stunt, it's just enough. They're always so good about being just enough far away that you can't tell. Or obviously your face isn't shown, but it's pretty crazy how amazing. Look at that cat photo bombing you.
I have to. There he is. That's Fletch. So Fletch is a Highland Lynx bobcat. So they breed a domestic cat with a bobcat.
How big are the paws? We just went to a wolf sanctuary in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they had a bobcat, and they had the bobcat had really big paws. But that wasn't a cat bobcat, it was like a
his ears curl backwards. That's the bobcat mutation.
Whoa.
See?
Hey there, buddy. Whoa.
And his name is Fletch because I love that movie.
Great movie. Amazing movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. So is there anybody like, were you a fan of film growing up? Like, were you somebody that went to, no, not at all.
Not really. I mean, I was, I remember watching Poltergeist at the movie theater and like in the present day, it's really hard for me to sit still for 2 hours and watch a film. And it's hard for me to watch something because I dissect it and I'm like, the lighting, there's like, I'm always just like, I'm there on set. I do like watching, like, I can get out of my head if it's like based on a true story, then I can watch it.
Yeah, no, I find that, especially at home, I have 2 kids, 7 and 3, and like, you'll be like wanting to put on a movie for them, and we're like, all right, let's watch it. Then I'm like, I get up, get them something, then laundry. Like, we went to the movies 2 weeks ago, and it's like the first time we all went together, and it was amazing. It was like, we can't do anything. You have to sit here and watch the movie.
You have to go to the movie
I was just trying to think in the sense of like, especially with how your job is with being a stunt double, it's kind of an intimate thing. You have other people on set, not saying they're not talking with talent, but just that I'm sure you weren't starstruck because you weren't such a huge fan, like early on, like working with all these people.
It's funny. My very first job, and this was before I got my SAG card. So I hadn't worked on any production, but my very first job in the entertainment industry was Sony Studios had, I don't know if it was their 50th. I don't know. It was some sort of milestone, and they invited every actor that had ever worked for Sony. And I was doing Spanish Web up on the stage with other. Do you know what Spanish Web is?
No, what's that?
So Spanish Web is like a 30-foot cased rope that I climb up. There's a loop there, and I put my wrist in it or my ankle in it. And then there's a guy at the bottom that spins me. Spin.
Oh my gosh.
We did this whole act, and I'll never forget like finishing, and I'm still up there, and I'm like smiling to the crowd, and they're all clapping, and I look down, and there's Bob Hope just staring up at me, clapping. Like, so my first introduction was like an entire theater filled with actors. I still have this piece of paper where I went home and I wrote down every person that I saw. I was like, Terry Garr, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd. Like, I just wrote down every single person. So I I have to say that I was starstruck my very first time because I was
Yeah,
just like
that's
blown away. And then after that, I'm like, oh, they're just normal like us.
Bob Hope.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
where-
I'm like getting a standing ovation from Bob Hope my first time out. Dang.
yeah, that is awesome. No, that's so cool. It's just so fascinating how, like, to get to the film industry, how people take all these different paths. And yours was like, it's not even like I'm thinking about doing this. It
Yeah.
just,
Mine was very organic.
yeah. And I think that's why people love it so much. I feel like not a lot of people I talk to are like, yeah, I just want to be an actor. I want to do this. It's like once you're hooked, you're so hooked on this career. Like you said, it's not even like doing it. It's like just the thrill of being on set. Like just everything that's moving, just everything is just go, go, go.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
awesome. This has been so much fun, Lisa. What I always love to ask folks before we're done is, and I kind of know the answer because what you were doing prior to this was kind of a transition, but were there any just like everybody has those jobs when you're a kid, like even in high school, you're thinking of like, oh, I want to be this or I want to be a doctor when I grow up. My daughter wants to be an engineer / spray paint artist. So we have that going for her. But like for you, was there any jobs when you were in high school? Like obviously you love doing, the acrobatics and, doing the gymnast. Was there any other careers that you were thinking about if obviously everything else didn't work out the way it did?
Okay. I do know that I got a small scholarship because I wrote a paper about wanting to be a school teacher.
Okay. I'm married to a teacher. Great place. Great
I
job.
never
Yeah.
pursued that. I do know when I was in college, I was thinking about law enforcement. And my bucket list would be to be a singer,
A
professional
singer?
singer. Yeah.
Can you sing at all?
I can carry a tune.
That's cool.
My dad's a retired psychologist, but he also was a professional musician. He played the stand-up bass and the harmonica, and he sang as well. So I grew
That must
up.
have been a fun household, right? He's playing a lot, singing, everybody's singing.
So every Friday night they're called the Wedgwood Trio, and they would jam every Friday night, and we would always eat popcorn. So my brothers and I would be like, is it popcorn music? Are we having popcorn music? So that's what we called it. It was our popcorn
That's
music.
awesome. Music's great. Yeah, I got my wife an acoustic guitar she used to play. We have pianos. We have ukulele, whatever. Because music's such a beautiful thing to
It
learn.
really is.
Yeah. And then how about like while you're doing all of this, obviously you said you wrote down all the names of the people you saw when you were performing. But how about like other credits? Like, did you keep any mementos early on? Like, hey, this would be a really cool memory or anything like that?
I can show you a couple things. Like these are my swords from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
That's a cool parting gift.
Yeah, this, can you see? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. What is that?
Okay, so they've said that the Academy is going to start recognizing stunts in 2027, but there hasn't been an Academy Award for stunts ever.
Which is insane.
But I know it isn't. But we have it's called the Tourist World Stunt Awards. That's our Academy Award. And I'm sorry, wrong name. The owner of Red Bull, he has since passed away. Dietrich is his name. Dietrich something.
Okay.
He sponsors the Tourist World Stunt Awards every year. And I got one. So that was really cool.
How do they do it? Do they do it based on I'm sure just like acting awards, they have subcategories?
The peers, the stunt people.
But do they have like best burn of 2025 or like best?
I got mine for best fight. It was for Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah, they have different categories. Best work with a vehicle, best high work, best fight, hardest hit, best stunt by a stuntwoman. And then this is
a heart.
I got a heart, and it says, Lisa, yes, you are a miracle. Love, Goldie.
Oh See, that's amazing.
I know.
Did you stunt for her again? Did you double for her again, or was it just on that one film in Hawaii?
Just that one film. I don't know if she's done anything.
She hasn't done much. She did the Christmas one with Kurt. She played Mrs. Claus in that sequel on that Netflix movie, but yeah. But that's it. You got to do it for her daughter.
I know.
She has movies coming out. She's hot right now. She has a Netflix series. She did that movie that was based on a true story
Neil
with
Diamond one.
Yes, the Neil Diamond one. Yeah. So that'd be really cool to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this has been so much fun. I know. I just think, like you just mentioned, like it is crazy. We talk about how much goes into movies in front and behind the camera, and how do you not recognize stunts for the Oscar? That's crazy. And there was another one they just added like not that long ago too, and you're like, how are we not recognizing? Like you said, they have their own awards, but it should be on the grandest stage with the other ones. Because it is so important in a movie. When you watch a movie, like you said, for somebody that knows what's going on in set, the lighting, how things should be done, like even for myself or anyone that watches a movie, I get so turned off when I watch a movie and it's like, I can totally tell that that's not that person, which I know it's not that person, but I want to be fooled. I want to be like the magic of it. Like,
well, you know, and they did say in 2027, there's going to be a stunt category, and it's because of the movie Fall Guy. Did you see Fall Guy?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true.
See the high fall at the end?
Yes. He's good, man. Gosling is...
well, that was Troy Brown. His dad is like the high fall legend in the stunt community.
Really?
And what was cool about that is that movie, they did all real stunts. Like old school, and that's what got the attention and is bringing the category to the Academy.
Oh, that's cool.
That's some sick talent.
Yeah, the real stunts is where it's at. Like I see, there's obviously is a place for CGI and stuff, but sometimes it's just way too much.
We want to see the real deal. We want to see the real deal.
Yeah. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Well, thank you, Doug. This was fun.
Thanks for taking the trip down memory lane and sharing some stories with me.
No problem. I have stories for days.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your day. And when this comes out, I'll shoot you the link. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Lisa was so rad. The fact that she was just, oh yeah, I can stay on the set of Pirates on this island. Okay, cool. And she was just enjoying it so much. And her daughter visiting her while she's in The Grinch when she was doubling for Molly Shannon. So the makeup for that movie, so great. So yeah, so your homework, Lethal Weapon 4, the best homework you'll ever have. Uncle Benny will be your friend. Jet Li has some amazing fight scenes in this movie. Great flick. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only. And don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Good night, guys. I love everybody. Is it over?